What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Los Fieles podcast. It's me, Alvaro, along here with Luis, and let's do this.
We're still getting ready to do another episode. Not too much happened out there in Padre Land. Winter meetings went, and we didn't do nothing. So, um, just a bunch of rumors floating around. Nothing really solid. I mean, to be honest, I was expecting a little bit of a splash. These past two pitchers that we got. I mean, okay, we got some fill-ins, some guys that can get on the bus to Texas and back every now and again. You know what
Right?
I mean? Nothing too serious. But I mean, what do you think? What do you think happened here at winter meetings?
All right, so I'll start with the basic guy. This guy that we got was a Dyson, whatever. I can't even remember the guy's name, right?
It is Dyson. I think it is Dyson.
Dyson Acosta.
It was the vacuum cleaners I was thinking about. Like, why is this guy called Dyson? What the heck? But anyway,
All right, so when I think about the winter meetings, I was like, all right, so we there, we this was our chance to make a splash. This was our chance to do something special. Now, before I even get into him, and you know, I look at it like this: I am upset with Preller. I'm upset with the organization because
yeah,
let's be real. For the past few years, we have, as I spoke last time, we have had a consistent winning team. We have gone out there and the fans have showed up. I mean, you said what, so like 70, 71 sellouts.
71 sellouts.
Yes, we 3 million fans have showed up. And you know what? At this point, I go, this team deserves, these fans deserve more than what they're giving us right now. Like, I'm a defender of AJ. I defended him last time, and everything. But
Right.
at this point, it's like getting one pitcher in the winter meetings. Like, come on, man. Like, we deserve more than that as fans. We deserve to be shown that this team wants to win. We've gotten close, and yeah, they could say, "Oh well, our payroll's going up, and we can't afford this or that," and we throw in 65% of our money goes, back to the team. And okay, I get all that, whatever, but it's like throw a little bit more then, or maybe find some players. There was potential players out there that we could have got. Like, I'm looking at this and I go, I see what these guys got. I see what, like, for instance, Polanco, he got picked up for 2 years, 40 million.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, like 20 million, you could have picked
a
him
year.
up.
I know.
Like,
I saw that.
we could have still got him. Or Michael Garcia, who got 5 years, 57 million. The guy can play the infield.
Right.
He was a 286, batting average, 351 OBP, 16 home runs. This guy could have filled in like something. And I go, are you telling me you couldn't thrown in $30 million to get two guys that would have filled in not only our DH spot with Polanco, he could also play second base, and I heard that they want to put him in first.
Yeah, the Mets are gonna put him at first base.
Yeah, and then Michael Garcia, who could play the infield, second base, DH, or even third. You telling me that you couldn't throw down $30 million for 2 years at least total? And I look at this and I go, what else do we have to do as fans for us to get this team to step up and say, we're going to go for broke? I mean, they hear the Dodgers game Diaz, and they're like, oh my God, we're going to lose again. It's like they're giving up before even going out there.
I think I'm with you. I am with you on this one. To be honest, man, I gotta just revert back to the last time we spoke, and it's ownership. It's the issue. It's the insecurity, man. I mean, if let's say they shell out these. Let's say I'm superstar player, or I'm not even superstar. I'm mediocre player, and I sign with the Padres, and I'm expecting 20 million, and Padres go bankrupt, and MLB has to bail them out, bro. That's a problem for me. You know what I mean? That's a problem for me. I don't see that happening. I don't.
Yeah.
But I can't get into the minds right now of guys wanting to come here to San Diego. I mean, I don't think it's very appealing right now. I do. I hope AJ Preller is out there trying to make a move, and the rumor is that he's trying to make a super move, right? But at what cost? Like, we have a good solid core. At what cost are we going to dip into that money bag, into that wealth of talent that we got, and start shelling them out because of this transition of ownership? I'm not with it. I'm just not with it. And you're right. We did have those guys out there, Polanco, was one guy
Garcia.
that was one guy. Yeah, Garcia was one guy that I was looking at, to DH. And the Mets are gonna. The guy played one inning in one game at first base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean the Mets. Again, I know nothing. These guys know more than me, so it is what it is. But I mean, just show us effort. You know what I mean? Show that you tried. Even the Reds, I think, went out publicly and said, "We're not going to spend money. We tried to go after Kyle Schwarber because we wanted to see if ticket sales would go up."
Pittsburgh wanted him too.
It was, but the Reds came out and said that they weren't going to go after anybody anymore after Kyle Schwarber said no. So, I mean, there's teams that are in worse shape than us, but I think that players are just being careful. You know, I can't I don't get it. I don't get it. We should be going out there after pitching. We should be going, and right now, it's looking like we're going to get rid of the bullpen, to get some starting pitchers. I just don't see how any of this is making sense. Any of these trade rumors, any of these other fan bases that are saying, "Oh yeah, the Padres are going to give up everything and just still try to be a contender." It just doesn't make sense to me.
No. And to go with that part, here's how I look at it. I say, before they blow everything up and we go into like what could potentially be traded and everything, I just go, we have what we have. But the contracts that he shelled out, like you got to own them. You live with them. That's your bed you made. You sleep in it. Okay, you threw out 10 years for Bogarts. Hey, that's the bed you made. You sleep in it.
That's
Okay,
right. Yeah.
because pretty much no one's gonna take it. You're the one that threw out 7 years for Crone. You're the one that threw out 10 years. For like an extra 10 years, yeah, for Machado, even though because he wanted his opt out. Like
Right.
at that point, I would have been like, you know what, man, we gave you 300 million. If you
Yeah.
don't want it, like just walk.
Right.
I love Machado, okay? And I know that sounds like, oh my God, how dare you? But it's like, hey man, he fleeced us
Yeah.
because
Oh
he
no.
had a good contract and then he decided, well, hey, I'm gonna need a little bit more money. It's like, really? Dude, like you're killing us by you wanting to get an extra, 9 million a year, right? And so I go, that's the bed you made. Our team may not compete with the Dodgers financially, but on the field, hell, we were competing with them with what we had.
You're
And
right.
so I say at this point, it's not about trying to compete with them dollar for dollar. We can't do that. We don't have that kind of money coming in. But let's go fill in the pieces with affordable players and maybe throw in, a couple dollars here and there. I'm like that guy Garcia, that was a good freaking shot that we couldn't find. There's Adam Frazier out there, I think, still available who could fill in gaps. You have players that could fill in these gaps, and I'm listening and I'm watching, and I go, we get this guy Acosta, and I'm like, he's for reals. It's not a name that you jump and you got a career minor leaguer, and you go like, that's the guy that's supposed to save
Yeah,
us.
I know, right? To come to the rescue. No. Look, I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse, man. Um, right now, right now, and this is the way I feel it, is Michael King is still out there right now,
Hmm.
right? Michael King is still out there, and the demand for pitching is pretty high amongst all contenders. We're in that contender pool. Um, you know, I don't think the Dodgers, are going to go after him. I don't think the Blue
They
Jays
don't
are
need
going
him.
to, they don't need him. They don't need him. I mean, but they could be jerks and just grab him up just to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what they did with Kirby Yates. You know that? Because Kirby Yates had such a good average against Otani. They were like, we don't want Yates.
that was Tanner Scott, right?
No, Kirby Yates.
Uh,
Kirby Yates, and he's gone now. They got their World Series. Oh, thanks Kirby Yates. Now he's out. You know what I mean? Um, and so right now, it's again, I just the demand is so high. Why don't we get out there and get a pitcher? Why don't we go? And now, Rumorville, right now, Rumorville has it, that we're literally, going to give up the bullpen for some pitchers out of New York, out of the Mets.
okay.
But there's been a lot of back and forth with the Mets. There's been a lot of back and forth with the Mets. First, it was Tatis for Lindor. Then it was Bogarts and Jeremiah Estrada and Mason Miller for like Lindor. You know what I mean? And like and all these
Shortstop.
shortstop trade. Well, yeah, all these trades involved Lindor, Tatis, Bogarts, and the owners and well, the GM for us, and I don't know who squashed it for the Mets, came
Yeah.
out and said, "We're not this. You guys are tripping. This isn't how it's going to go. We're not doing this." 2 days later, sources that couldn't say who they were, whatever, but were super reliable, came out and said, "Look, Preller's cooking, man. He's going to do something huge. He's going to do something that's going to compare to
Soto.
Soto when he got the last two deadlines. He got uh,
Miller.
Miller, Adam, Arise, Fermin, Laureano. He got a bunch of talent.
O'Hearn.
O'Hearn, you know what I mean? And supposedly what we got coming is going to pale in comparison. And that to me is huge. Like, what else can you do? Like, what else can you do? And what are you going to give up? Because it ain't going to be money. It ain't going to be money. It's going to be talent. I'm willing to roll with what we got. I'm willing to roll with Laureano. I don't even know why Laureano isn't even mentioned. He did good for us. Laureano, wherever he goes, he does well. He's not no superstar, you know what I mean? But he's not a schmuck. He's not a bum. We got Jackson Merrill. We got Fernando Tatis. We got Manny Machado, and we got Bogarts at short. Crone at second. We need to pick up a first baseman.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Gavin Sheets at DH again. And let's get up a couple of arms. We got Musgrove coming back. We got Pavetta coming back. And after that, we don't. We're struggling. We're struggling. We have pitchers.
Yeah. Not proven,
but not
starters.
proven, and guys that are proven and that are there aren't very good.
Yeah.
So if we get two more arms,
well, we got JP Sears.
Out of that trade with the Athletics, you never know, man. You never know. I'm just, I'm at the point to where I want to see it already. I don't want to wait. Don't tease me anymore. You know what I mean? This big mystery with the Mets. And I don't even know if it's with the Mets anymore. Like, there's just a lot of talk between the Padres and Mets. AJ Preller will throw a curveball in a heartbeat and say, I'll give this group of guys to this team over here because they're going to give me a lot more.
Like a 3-team trade type thing.
Something
like that.
I
go, I heard, Merrill Kelly, for instance, got 2 years, $40 million right now. He went back to Arizona. Dustin May, I heard, is going to the Cardinals, which that was another one. I'm like, come on. That's like, I'm not saying these guys are like the all-star caliber monsters that are going to come in here and going to be like shutdown players. Like, oh my God, we're going to get aces. Our point no more is we're not supposed to get like stars at this point. We paid too much money for stars, right? That's what the whole situation is. That's what got us in this mess. We don't have people to trade.
Right.
You tell me this all is part about trading, and I've read about potentials here and there, and I go, every single one, okay, I hear it, but your main pieces to trade would be Tatis and
Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, because you think about it, those are the only ones that are young and have a lot of control and are relatively cheap.
And they got talent.
Yes,
they're good players.
They're the only ones that could bring anything worth bringing it in, right? You got Bogarts. If anyone takes them, they would give us, the best they could do is take his contract, and we'll be like, all right, cool, we got a bunch of money to spend, and we're probably gonna spend it on who at this point, because we've already lost.
We're out.
All the pieces that were on the free agency, everything that's worth what he would be worth at the 10 million mark.
Yeah,
you're looking at like nothing. Right, at least at this point.
Exactly.
Then you can throw back on my argument. Well, hey, you can make the cheap players work. Okay, yes, you're right, but we're also losing someone at the caliber of Bogarts. Yes, you can hate and say Bogarts is garbage, this and that. The only thing that he is not doing is playing up to his value of $280 million. The guy is still a good player. His stats are still decent. They're not $280 million stats.
But he was from when he was in Boston. That season that we got him, he was a superstar, bro.
He was a superstar.
And then he came to San Diego, and it's like he took that superstar cape off, left it in Boston, and he put on like underdogs freaking cape on, dude. And he's just like, just not what he's supposed to do, and
Should have been leadoff.
that right there is a problem to me, man.
Okay.
Why did you not bring that I don't know, that hunger or that dog or that want to San Diego? And a lot of guys, a lot of people say, a lot of players come to San Diego just to take it easy, man, just to take it in. San Diego's a beautiful city, yes. San
Yeah.
Diego's, got it all, and you can come here, and man, the beaches are beautiful. Weather's, it was 60 degrees, 65 degrees earlier today. I
Yeah.
mean, it's December, and we're still living in summer weather, So I get it, Bogarts to me is a big, it would be pretty big if we got rid of him and if we offloaded his contract. That to me would be like, whoa, we didn't get nothing, but at least we got this money now. To me that would be great.
You look at it, 2024 and 2025, the guy is literally as consistent as you get with us. 264 in 2024, 263 in 2025, 11 home runs in both years, 44 RBIs in 24, 53 this year, 50 runs in 24, 63 this year. You have that is as consistent as it gets. Those numbers are identical. So if you think about it, you go, okay, like that is a consistent player. White, I said last time, he should be just leading off. I think they're just not using him right.
If they find a good hole for him to fill, in the lineup, then let's run with it. And you're right, the leadoff spot for him was the better spot for him. But again, with the previous manager that we had, I think he ran more on respect and like we're gonna respect what this guy has. You know what I mean? Versus putting the better player or the better opportunity in a certain hole. For example, I think as soon as Mason Miller came in, he should have been the closer over Suarez. Absolutely. I think imagine Suarez being a setup guy for Mason Miller. We'd have what 4 innings of nothing. The other team would not score. Robert Suarez, I didn't think was a good closer. He cracked under pressure. Mason Miller welcomes that. He welcomed it. You know what I mean? Especially the last couple games he played for us. You know what I mean? Mason Miller was like, I'm with it. You know what I mean? And Robert Suarez, he's very consistent. His character is more of, you know what? If I give up the 4-run shot, I give it up. I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. If I strike out the guy next, to get the third out, I'm still gonna. He doesn't change. He doesn't progress. And I think the same thing with Bogarts. If he's so reciprocal in his numbers, he's not up in his game.
Okay. Well, I disagree that they should have had Mason Miller be the closer, but I mean, what's done is done now at this point.
Yeah.
It's not like Suarez went out there and blew a bunch of games. Like he was consistent. But I get where you're coming from when you say these guys are stagnant, so they're pretty much doing the same thing. I get that. And in the game of baseball, stagnant is probably the best compliment you can have. Right. Okay, let's be real. This isn't football, basketball, or anything. We want stagnation unless you're going down, because the only two things you can do in baseball is go up, go down, or stay, straight. And I'd rather be going straight than going down. So at this point, I go, Bogarts is going straight. I'm cool with it. Machado to me is going down, and Tatis is stagnating. And I go, Tatis should be going up because he's 26. Merrill's only second year. You always got the sophomore slump, so I'm not going to trip too hard about that. And Cron, to me, he's the same thing. He's kind of stagnating. He's been in the league since 2020. So I go, I can live with that part. But again, my real grudge right now comes with Preller not doing nothing to better the team. Like, you want to hear about this kid that we got? Like, I did research. I went all out, okay? I started about him. I was like, all right, who's this kid? I'm like, first off, so I looked into him.
Let me see.
And I'm like, this guy's a career minor leaguer, okay? Like, he's played 188 games in the minors. The guy's got 22 and 25 record with a 3.59 ERA in 365 innings. He's got 410 strikeouts, and his whip is 130. Walks, hits per inning. Mm-hmm. So he allows 1.3 an inning. Now, the only thing that I think maybe I can see why they picked him up. Is and we can use this to our next point, but I looked deeper into him, and in 2024 he pitched 47 games. He had a 4-3 record. His ERA was 2.61 in 58.2 innings. He struck out 82 guys at 28 walks, and people are hitting 194 off of him. Okay, so I go, okay, what was the difference? What was so great about that? Look, prior to all that, he had never pitched more than that in the many games. I think the most he had gotten was like 20 something or like early 30s. I can't remember exactly. But last year he pitched 46 games. He had a 5-1 record with a 2.42 ERA over 52 innings. He struck out 72 guys, and they were batting .195 against him. So that is stagnation, right?
Yeah.
Even his walks were the same. He had 28 walks in 24, and he had 27 in 25.
Wow.
And so I'm like, maybe they found something and they said, okay, this kid can start off in the minors, and we'll have Niebla work with him, bring him up and see if he's ready. And then that was going to go into how you were going to talk about potential trades. And if we get rid of bullpen arms, well, guess what? We have a young kid who seems to be trending upwards.
And I don't, and again, I don't want to hate on the Padres. I don't want to say, and beat the same horse. I want him to acquire. I want him to bring in, and I want to find the good in the guys that they are bringing in. You know what I mean? It's just hard. You found, the numbers for this kid that are workable numbers.
Yes.
They're workable. Niebla, I think, can do some tweaks, and he's fixed a lot of guys. I just hope that it continues. I don't want to overwhelm him. You know what I mean? I don't think he will get overwhelmed, but like it's gonna. I would be like, okay, when are we gonna get someone who is I'm gonna look at and study and be like, oh, just change this. You know what I mean? Just grip the ball a little bit over this way, and your curve will break another inch. You know what I mean? Versus, okay, kid, what do you got? Show me, man. Then start from scratch. I don't know if that's what they enjoy, or if they enjoy someone come in and ready to go and ready to work and ready to do their thing. Again, this kid, I hope that he makes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just right now I'm a little discouraged.
Discouraged.
No. It's hard. It's even hard right now to talk about it. Because I'm just like, man, they put this big tease out there. Oh man, the trade's coming, and it's gonna be a big one. And get ready, San Diego, you're gonna get rocked. And it's just like, and I'm like, bro, like just say it, bro. Just tell me. Just tell me, please. Like, if you're gonna trade Tatis, just you know what, man? Just peel off the tape now, man. You know what I mean?
Right. So I was reading that they wanted, obviously, like you read, everyone's kind of reading about the Mets. Oh, what's gonna make sense? Let's get the Mets out. Let's get the Mets, this and that with the Mets. I'm like, okay, could it be possible to make a deal with the Mets? And can we make something that makes sense? I've heard a couple names be thrown out there. Not the names I want, but I've heard a couple names out there. One of the names that I heard was Jonah Tong. Okay. And I was like, okay, like Jonah Tong, like who's this kid? Like I remember him, but don't remember him that much.
Right.
Right. Now all I know about the kid is he's 22 years old. He went 2-3 last year with a 7.71 ERA, and he only had 22 strikeouts, which tell me he's not, he ain't a world beater. Let's get Mason Miller. I saw that his best start was, ironically, against us.
Yeah.
Where the guy went 6 innings, struck out 8, allowed only 4 hits and 1 unearned run. But the kid's never pitched more than 6 innings, and out of all his starts, only 3 went more than 5. 2 went 5, 1 went 6, and the other, I think, 3 went like 0.2 innings and like 2 innings or something like that.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, so he's fresh. That's how you were saying it. Niebla would have to go and start with this kid from the get-go. I personally would rather have, Nolan McLean. I'm like, this kid is like Skeens' cousin. I mean, the guy's literally 5-1 last year with a 2.06 ERA with 57 strikeouts. Okay, like he's 24. Like I want him. You're gonna trade Mason Miller, our closer. Like, bring someone like that, right?
I think the need for a closer in New York is so great that the Mets are going to give up, what we need, and that picture you just mentioned, um, is probably going to be part of that package. You know what I mean? Um, there's just so much going on in Rumorville that it's hard to keep up with. You know what I mean? Because at the winter meetings, um, Preller said, that Miller, Morejon, and Morgan, we're going to stay in the bullpen. That
Yeah.
we're not going to move them. We're not going to, and now they're part of trade talks. So you see how it just fluctuates all over it's all over the place. Like everything is all over the place. There's names. There's all this stuff going everywhere. To me, it's just I want to know. I want to know, guys. Come on, AJ, give us something, man.
Anything at this point.
Anything, because I hear stuff, from legit people. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I hear stuff from legit people, and I'll be like, that makes sense. But then a week later, it'll change. So this off season isn't like other off seasons. It's
Yeah.
not like other off seasons. I was thinking of the contracts that we're giving out right now. The demand, I don't think, the supply that's out there is pitch like Michael King. I think is a great example. Um, he wanted to go to the. He said, "Oh well, my top three picks are the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Yankees,"
East
and
Coast.
the three of them were like, "Well, thanks, but no thanks." You know what I mean? You're asking for a ton. You know what I mean? So, and because of the productivity, now I know that the Jays paid, for a Dylan Cease that they hope would go back to the old Dylan Cease. And I know that Boston might have given Dustin May a contract that would put him back to when he first started. And they would hope, you know what I mean, that that's the Dustin May that they get. I'm not that type of guy that says, hey, man, these pitchers are going to come out great. I think that, if Michael King comes back,
Yeah.
get nice and team friendly. Hey man, you know what?
Hmm.
Do your thing.
Hmm.
Prove it to the MLB so that the next time you're a free agent, you know what? You can get a bag. But right now, I think everything is just so it's just a different off season this season. Last season we were able to tell with in a snap, okay, this and this and this should happen.
Yeah.
And even guys like us would be able to predict,
Yeah.
almost on point. I think this off season is just so weird. You know what I mean? Where we need something and let's see who blinks. We have, for example, Mason Miller. The Mets need Mason Miller. They have all these pitchers. We need pitchers. Let's see who blinks first, type of deal.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I
I
hear
mean?
you.
And then we'll make a trade. But it's just I can't put my finger on it. I can't really say for with almost certainty, not certainty, but almost certainty, say this is going to happen. You know what I mean?
So for me, I'm listening and I go, I think the big problem with the uncertainty is that we're in limbo with a rebuild and a continuation because of uh, the contract lengths that we have. So our players are getting older. Outside of Merrill, outside of Tatis, who are in their 20s,
Right.
Bogart's 30s, Machado 30, Cron is what, 29?
20 something. I,
Yeah,
I I don't remember.
getting older, and they got long contracts. So I go with the length of our contracts and the way that the team has been playing, we should be. This is where they say, "Oh, well, we got rid of all our farm system." This is the reason that people have the
Mhm.
farm system is for when
Right.
these
Right.
players start getting to that age, you start filling the holes with the farm system.
Hmm.
Okay, whatever. We already went through that, and why it doesn't really like for us was like the most important thing because he will recruit the farm system.
Right.
But I do feel like this year the reason that is so in limbo is because our season right now is stuck in that middle ground of do we go all out still or do we just fire sale because we're we're mediocrity at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. That's the word. There you go. You hit it. You finally. I've been thinking of the word to describe it all week.
Yeah.
And mediocrity. You finally. I get it. Okay, you're right. Mediocrity is where we're at right now.
Yeah, and I go, but we're winning, so we're playing good. We're actually doing something. We haven't obviously we haven't had the ship. It sucks because we've had to deal with the Dodgers. Like every team has to deal with a hurdle. Um, but I go, we're not quite the Cardinals yet. The Cardinals
Right.
have
Yeah.
that just because obviously the Cardinals have won championships, and that's what's kind of holding us back. So that's why I said the last time I said we're kind of like Tampa Bay with more money because
That's always so funny.
Tampa Bay was that team that kind of just hung around, is always kind of competitive, but never really went over the top. Yeah, they made it to the World Series twice, but at the end of the day, it's like it just did not go well for them because once they got to the World Series, their stars, they didn't have enough players to kind of fill it in. So I go, I don't want to be Tampa Bay, but I kind of feel like AJ is kind of putting us there by not really trying to just go a little bit more, and he should actually like see what Tampa Bay did and not do that because Tampa Bay was just good enough. They had just enough players that you were like, yeah, we're competitive. We're winning 85. We're going 87. We won the division. Like
Right.
we're
Right.
in the playoffs. Yes, we made two World Series in 20 years, but at the end of the day, both times we lost, and you know, we're just there. It's like we're teetering, and I go, I don't want to be the National League's Tampa Bay
Right.
Rays.
Right. Let me ask you something. What do you want to see first? Do you want to see us get an established owner first, or have AJ Preller make these moves that would put us into some solid contention, What do you think needs to happen first?
The logical part of me will say that I'd rather have the owners because you want to have an established future, and you
Right.
want to say this is gonna be who's gonna own us. This is the kind of money we're gonna be spending for the next 20 to 30 years potentially, right?
Okay.
That is what the logical side of me wants. The fan of me says we are here. We have gotten close. We've got 93 wins, and we got 90.
Mm-hmm.
We are right there. We are just one playoff away from, one hot playoff, one hot month away from winning it, right? That's all it is. And I go, do not take a step back. I hate taking a step back. Just imagine being at work, you're at the cusp of a promotion, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to just cruise this week instead of go all out because, during review week, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like
You take your
I'm
foot
not
off
the
the
kind.
gas.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person. Or if you're in a boxing match and you're like, I'm winning, and I got a 9 round lead, I'm just gonna take my foot off and not knock the guy out. I'm gonna dance. There's always that possibility that that person gets lucky, knocks you out. There's always a possibility that while you're kicking it at work and you're saying, I already got it, someone's behind you that you don't see hauling ass. Giants are making moves over here. New York is making moves over here. There's teams around us that are making moves over here. I don't not want us to coast, say, hey, well, we won 93 and 90. That's it. We're good. We're gonna, we got this. And the next thing you know, we get leapfrogged, and now we're not even in the wild card. We got an 83 wins, 84 wins. It's enough to have a winning season. We sell out 70 games again. You can't say that we suck. You can't get rid of AJ, yet we don't get in the playoffs.
I would. The way I see it is, I think, and I asked myself that question, and I wanted to see what your take was. My take is going to be this: is that I think that AJ should make a move, and
Yes.
that way he can present a shiny, bright product to the new owner. Look, this is us. In baseball terms, if the owner doesn't know, this is a contender right here. You know what I mean? It's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's going to make you some money. And I think, and that's again, that's all I've been hearing too. Is like, do the Padres make enough money? Do the Padres have enough revenue? Do the Padres, have a good return? They don't have the greatest return.
No.
They don't make the ton of money, but it's like our players, it's consistent.
Yes.
We're gonna sell out again. Believe it or not, and I hate to say it, put it this way: where the Padres are the only game in town right now. I think SDFC might dip into that, but I don't think so because when SDFC was in the playoffs, Padre Stadium was still selling out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So right now, as it stands, Padres baseball is the only game in town in San Diego. I think that Preller can get us a nice little, you know, nice players, a good team,
Yes.
get a nice team out there and present it to whomever's going to want to get the team and say, hey, this is what we got. This is going to get you some money. This isn't going to be an immediate, a return for you, but it's going to be an eventual return for you. Let's roll with this. How about that?
I hear that. I just look at it and I go, forget. I don't care too much about the owners because I don't know who's going to buy it. So I just say, at the here and now, with the people that we have at this point, like, what the hell are we waiting for, right? Like, we're there. Like, why are you going to take a step back? Why aren't you going to push for it? Like, why do you want to be in mediocrity? Why do you want to be content? Why do you want to be stagnant? Why do you want to be any word that you guys can think of? Any, like
Any
a
more
simile?
synonyms? Any more
Yes,
synonyms out
like
there?
it's exactly straight line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in a straight line. I want a peak. I don't give a damn if in the season we're going peaks and valleys. I want my peak,
Right.
and I want us to continue to trend up, not go down, not say this, not say that. Well, we don't have money. Well, we don't have it. We've heard these excuses for their entire existence of the Padres, okay?
Yes.
Yet we
Yes.
still have contended. Yet we still have made the playoffs recently. I stated it last time. If you guys don't know, listen to it. Like, we are right there. So why are we not pushing for it? Because we're scared that the Dodgers, the heavyweight power puncher, is unbeatable? Like, I'm sorry, but if you're thinking like that, then you don't deserve to even be playing. You don't deserve for that. And then
There's-
just get rid of all your players at that point. Let's just rebuild.
There's a guy out there. I don't know what sportscaster. He went out and publicly tweeted or posted or whatever, and he goes, any superstar that goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers from here on out is a effing coward. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, it's a little bit harsh. But I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, it makes sense, because anybody that goes to the Dodgers right now is going because they know that they're going to get that ring. They know that the chances for them is astronomical to three-peat, right? It's going to be hard because I think every team is going to give them their best. They're not going to take any showboating. Like, they're just not going to. They're going to give the Dodgers their best, and that's going to result in maybe fatigue later on for the Dodgers. Maybe because Freddie Freeman, he ain't no spring chicken anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Mookie Betts, he's not going age-wise, I don't think, on the decline, but physically he's going on the decline. Guy's tired. He admitted it. He's like, bro, I'm tired.
Let me cut you off with that real quick.
Okay.
What is the goal when you play baseball?
To win.
Okay.
To win.
Going to a team that gives you the highest chances of winning, I don't consider that cowardice at all. I consider that smart. Now, does that make me happy? Because it's the Dodgers? No. But at the end of the day, it was the Yankees before, the Dodgers, Boston at one point. They won a few, the past 20 years. If we were the Dodgers right now, we would just be like, hell yeah, let's take anyone. They'll take every superstar that we can think of. We cannot sit back and just go, just because you're going to the team that gives you the highest chances of winning, I'm going to crucify you for that.
And I agree 100% with that. But if you're a competitor, you really don't have to compete with the Dodgers. Somebody is going to carry you to the playoffs and into the World Series.
I wouldn't give a damn if I gave my ring.
You know what I mean?
I mean, those guys have gotten 2 rings right now.
Bro, here's a prime example. Kike Hernandez, in the regular season, he's not that great.
Nope.
Off season, postseason,
great.
He's awesome. He's awesome. So the Dodgers carry that dude into the postseason, right? So he can perform. Same thing with anybody else, dude. If Freddie Freeman all of a sudden in a slump, dude, sit down. We'll put, Tommy Edman out there or whomever. I don't know. That's what I mean, dude. It's going to be too easy almost. It's going to be way too easy.
What's wrong with that, though?
You're a competitor, no?
Edelman in the Patriots was a player that was, considered not the greatest, wide receiver during the regular season. He killed it in the Super Bowl. I know I jumped off topic right here, but
Right,
it's the
right,
same thing. It was Brady was carrying them to the Super Bowl, and he had great Super Bowl numbers, right?
right.
At the end of the day, it does not matter how you get there. You get a ring, you get a parade.
Yeah.
I don't care. All I want is for me to be at the parade. I want our team to be at the parade. That is the only thing that I care about. So all these players, if every superstar goes to the Dodgers, good for you. Cool. Get your money, get your bag, win your rings if you want.
Mhm.
I don't care.
Okay.
All I want is for the guys that have our team to play like they want to be the champions. They should play like they know that they will be the greatest team in San Diego history and never have to buy a drink in this entire city again, because whoever wins the first championship in San Diego will be historic.
Mhm.
Just like how Musgrove threw the first no hitter and he had the first mural meant to be, right? You had Matt Kemp, out of all people, hit our first cycle, right?
Oh my God.
No,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Those names are synonymous now with the
Yeah.
Padres.
No. Yeah. Of course.
So
Of course.
what are we going to do when we get there and we get that ring? That team will officially be the gods of San
Right.
Diego
Right.
baseball.
Right.
And that's why I think these players need to come here. I think Preller, I think the owners that we have right now, and everyone needs to see that and say, that's what we're playing for. We are playing not just to beat the Dodgers, we're playing to be the best team in San Diego history, not just for us, but for our fans as well, who have showed up day after day after day. And for us true fans, not to,
Exactly.
I know that everyone that goes, hey, I'm happy. But for us real, for us fans that have been there for a long time, I'll rephrase that. For us fans that have been there for a long time,
Right.
who
Right.
knows what the stadium feels like when there's no one there, that would be just the godsend right there, right? And we have earned it. The team, this city has earned the like the right to have one championship. Chargers couldn't do it for us; they straight up left. We had basketball teams in the past, Rockets and the Clippers, they straight up left. We've never had a professional hockey team, and now that we got a soccer team, hell, they came close. Cool. But I don't want my first championship parade to be the soccer team, which, no offense, but it's going to be their second year.
Right.
And I don't want the only championship that we've had in the past, 25 years be a freaking Chula Vista Little League team.
Oh my.
You get what I mean, though?
That was good. That was a good team.
I don't care. Yeah, it's cool, but you get what I mean, though.
I get it. No, I absolutely get it.
I want it to
absolutely
be our longest standing sports franchise at this point.
We're getting close. But I mean, we got to overcome some obstacles. We got to overcome some obstacles.
Oh, yeah.
This ownership deal is obstacle number one, and it's
Yes.
a big one. And I think once we overcome that obstacle, then great. Obstacle number two is the talent that we need to get in. I think again, with this big splash that Mr. Preller is supposed to make, hopefully we get it in. But hopefully we get in a ton of talent, or some talent. I mean, two arms, two good arms. You know what I mean? And I think we're there. I think we're not there, but we're competitive. We're real competitors at that time.
100%.
At this point, just two good arms, and I'm rolling with what we got.
To me, I say all we need is 4 players. Technically, like how you said, we need 2 starters. Quality wise, we just need 2 starters, 2 guys that will give us 150 innings. Okay, like Niebla, I believe in him that he'll make them better than what they were. Okay, so that's the first part, and then 2 bats. That's it. Just anyone that can hit more than 25 home runs, or at least 25 home runs. I don't care what position they play, because you can DH them. And then 1 player that you can platoon to cover.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean,
so just give me an average guy and give me a power guy. I don't care if they strike out 200 times. If you give me 25 to 30 home runs, cool. That's all I care about. And then another guy that I don't care if he gives me 10 home runs. If you guys batting 280 with a 300 on base percentage, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. You give me that, we're deep, we're solid, and guess what?
We're contending.
Thank you.
We're contending. All right, man. Well, that one's gonna put us in the books for this episode. I think, we're gonna wait for the surprise, whatever that is, what Preller says.
Yep.
And as soon as it pops out, we're gonna get out here and we're gonna let you guys know, let the fans out there know, what we think of it. I hope it's gonna be a fan favorite move and a good team move.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Please, don't move Tatis, man. We still need him.
He leaves. That's it. Like, fan base, like, we'll lose half of it.
Oh my god! And I think that's why I'm feeling this way, dude.
Yeah, no, I get you. Him in right field was like beautiful.
Oh my platinum glove, dude. Platinum glove all day
Oh
long.
God.
All day long, dude. All right. Well, for Los Fieles, Alvaro and Luis here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please continue to give us those likes, those follows, subscribe, share us, man. Get the word out.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna
Los Fieles 619.
Los Fieles 619. We're gonna get it out there, guys. We're gonna work on it for you, and we're gonna get you guys a good product, man. So continue to tune in. We appreciate everyone out there. And again, we're gonna sign off, man. Thanks so much.
You have a good one.